Today's affirmation: I'm not just going through changes, I'm growing through them. You know those years that feel like they're packed with enough life changes for a decade? Well, that was my 45th trip around the sun. This past year brought changes I never saw coming. I found myself moving between two homes to help care for my dad in assisted living while helping support my mom. The writing profession I pivoted into from my career in fashion started shifting beneath my feet as AI entered the picture. And while all this is happening, my kids were transforming into young adults. Everything that was once familiar became not so familiar anymore. As I sit here on the cusp of turning 46, you know what I realized? We often talk about going through changes, like we're just trying to make it through to the other side. Heck, I even have an episode dedicated to this sentiment. But as soon as the dust settles after the whirlwind of disruption has ended, what if we shifted the perspective just a bit? What if instead of going through it, we focused on growing through? Maybe you're caring for aging parents while juggling your life, or watching your career transform in new ways you never expected. Perhaps you're navigating an empty nest, or finding yourself in a chapter you never planned to read. Whatever your story is, I want you to know something. We're not just surviving these changes, we're being invited to expand through them. Hello and welcome to the Mindful Life Changes podcast, where we dive deep into the challenges and transformations shaping our lives, from shifts in our roles at home and work to the transitions we navigate physically and mentally as we gracefully age. I'm your host, Valerie Mickey, a career change guide and mindfulness enthusiast. Years before turning 45, I imagined it would be a pretty exciting year to celebrate. My kids would both be in college, my husband and I would be empty nesters, which meant more time for my passion projects and less time driving kids to practices. Little did I know those passion projects would transform into researching assisted living homes and driving around town looking for a new home where my mom and I could live nearby. Perhaps you're in a similar situation, looking around and question, how did I end up here? This isn't exactly where you thought your life would be at this age or point. Seismic shifts can force you to move in new directions, both literally and figuratively. But wherever you land, you can still thrive and grow. I've come to believe that within any disruption or change, life also opens up the opportunity for growth. Through all of these changes, I've learned something very powerful. Every disruption or change is an opportunity to grow where you're at. And if you know me and have listened to a few episodes, I love a good acronym. And this one is no exception. GROW stands for get quiet, release what you can't control, open yourself to new opportunities, win with courage. So let's break down each word. G, get quiet. Take a moment to pause, breathe, and center yourself. This isn't about avoiding the chaos. It's about finding your steady ground within it. Maybe it's like a 5-minute morning meditation, a quiet cup of tea, or simply just taking 3 deep breaths before responding to life's challenges. R, release what you can't control. You know when we have that tight grip on how things should be? It's time to loosen it. Focus your energy on what is within your power to change and practice acceptance of what isn't. This isn't giving up. It's giving yourself permission to move forward. O, open yourself to new opportunities. When one door closes, it's natural to stare at the closed door. But what if we turned around and looked at all the other doors waiting to be opened? Stay curious. Say yes to something new. Let yourself be surprised by your resiliency and be open to test your inner strength and mindset. And lastly, W, win with bravery. Every small step forward in a new direction is a win. Every time you choose growth over comfort, that's bravery in action. Celebrate these moments no matter how small or big. They're building your resilience, shaping your story, and proving that you are stronger than you knew. now that we understand how to grow where we're at, let's take a moment to really anchor these truths in our hearts with an empowering affirmation session. We'll start our affirmation practice by priming your mind and body so you'll be open to this affirmation. Take a deep cleansing breath in and out, releasing any energy that doesn't serve you in your mind and body. Take one more cleansing breath in and out. I'll begin by reciting the affirmation twice. While you listen to the affirmations, imagine you're writing the affirmation down on a whiteboard, or you're watching someone write it on the board for you. This will help with memorization, so let's begin. I am not just going through changes, I'm growing through them. I am not just going through changes, I am growing through them. I'll repeat the affirmation again, but this time I want you to repeat it out loud to yourself so you can make a connection. I am not just going through changes, I am growing through them. I'll repeat the affirmation again. Once again, say it out loud to yourself. I am not just going through changes, I am growing through them. Now imagine staring at the ground beneath your feet. It could be soft brown soil, white stone pebbles, or sand on a beach. Imagine a vibrantly colored flower emerging from the ground, slowly moving upward, opening its blossoms to absorb the sunlight to thrive. This bloom represents you. I'll give you a moment to visualize the scene in full color. I'm not just going through changes, I'm growing through them. I'll repeat it one last time and give you a moment to let it sink in. I'm not just going through changes, I'm growing through them. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes if you had them closed, and if it feels comfortable to you, place your hand over your heart to help seal in this affirmation practice with self-love and care. This affirmation is yours to recite and practice for at least 21 days, once a day. It's most effective before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning before you start your day. If you like this episode of Growth, you'll love episode number 4, which is one of my favorites, Growing Out of Your Comfort Zones. In this episode, I encourage you to push back the feelings of discomfort and lean into change because you are more resilient than you may think. There is no better way to adopt a healthy habit than setting yourself up for success. Make sure to subscribe and bookmark this episode so you'll have it handy whenever you need a quick guide of this affirmation. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a family member or a friend who may also be dealing with life changes and need encouragement to grow where they're at. Or show your appreciation by giving us a rating of this podcast wherever you're listening. Your support will help other midlifers discover the content so it can grow and blossom. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me. Every moment you dedicate being mindful is a step towards a more fulfilled and vibrant life. Keep embracing your midlife journey with an open heart, and remember, you are not alone in this. I look forward to our next mindful gathering. I'll talk to you soon.